In the summer of '77, the world lost one of music's finest treasures. One of its greatest legacies, Elvis Aaron Presley, died. People the world over mourn the loss of an emperor, a king of rock and roll. But what if his death was not timely? What if there was more behind the scenes than the public ever saw? There was, and now the truth will finally be uncovered. The king's death has been investigated, and soon you too will know everything. Everything.
Well, I used to hang out with the king himself. You know, I learned quite a few tricks from him. I remember this one time when we was training. I first met him when we were together in the class of Hapkido, and in our dojo, you normally weren't allowed to bring other people in that weren't part of the group. However, this one kid, he was always bringing in. Oh, he was something, that boy. And he was real scraggly, kind of pitiful looking, and oh, they would just be all over the floor. It was kind of disgusting. It was really horrible. I almost left the dojo for that reason, but I stayed because of my good friend Elvis, the king, who I now like to think I am pretty close to, both in appearance and in the spirit. But I will never submit to the kind of emotions that he had for that weird little boy. It was really something.
Elvis seized the opportunity to marry Nathan on the day of his 18th birthday, shortly after Nathan returned from viewing a short film created by his friends.
Well, I remember the wedding day actually quite vividly. It was a pretty lavish ceremony, but that boy was there just dragging down the whole thing. Just dragging the life out of my good friend the king. I think we had a term for him actually, that little slut. Came up with it at the reception. It was me and a couple of my other Elvis impersonating friends. Yeah, it was if I remember correctly, the bride what ain't got no shame. Yeah, that was it. That was it. Oh man. Oh man.
While the ceremony was lavish, the reception turned violent, as did the honeymoon. Many noises were heard coming from their suite, that of extreme violence and perversion.
It's now Warren Nathan. It's right hotel. You make love like a retard pinch. Oh yeah! Keep on the pinch! Yeah, roll it around like that. Damn. What's wrong, Nathan? There's no crying in intercourse. No!
Violent from the beginning, the abuse soon became even worse. Much of the strife that occurred is believed to have been caused by an uncertain third party, but many of Elvis's followers have their own ideas.
Actually, during one of their little scuffles, I actually managed to meet up with this native boy, yeah. And man, he was a skank, that little desperate whore. He came looking to me since I was just like the king, and he propositioned me. And I said, no, Nate boy, you best be going on back to your man. He needs you more than I do. I don't like you much myself, but I do got to look out for my good friend the king. And you're really dirty. He was really dirty.
There were rumors that Tom Hanks was a catalyst to the violence, and soon there were daily bouts of abuse as heard by neighbors. In fact, we have first-hand evidence of Nate's treatment of the king, a home video he allegedly took shortly after their honeymoon.
Blonde, nice and easy, like Claire. A beauty all year round.
I should have never played the game. I should have left. Oh, you're a little faster, aren't you? Damn it.
Tell us about Tom Hanks.
Well, as far as I understand, Tom Hanks really didn't enter the picture up until Nathan started causing some trouble in the relationship with the king. Mr. Hanks, he was a nice guy, I thought, at first, but then it turns out that he was actually one of the instruments in the downfall of our good friend the king. It turns out that he was the third lover in this mysterious triangle of sex and abuse, a lurid tale of lust. And I think it all leads back to that little scraggly boy. Darn Nathan. He just couldn't handle only having one emperor. He had to have more.
Having more meant a higher risk as well. Along this line of lovers, Nate contracted a disease.
I was in the emergency room the night that they brought him in, and it was just after one of his horrible little convulsions. No one believed him, of course, the whole time. I mean, who would believe that ugly little pitiful-looking freak? Just why would anyone pay any attention to him? But as it turns out, he did have a problem, and he did, in fact, have a clap. Now, we weren't so much concerned about this Nathan as we being the Elvis Impersonators Association of America. We were more worried about the king himself. We were all very, very horrified that day, and we all prayed very solemnly for the best for our friend, the king.
While the violence was on and off over the years, one afternoon it ultimately climaxed.